For me, as a climber, there's no other place like Flatanger in the world. I feel deep emotional connection, and even after all those trips and years, it never ceased to amaze me. Norway is not typically a climbing country, and being kind of in the middle of nowhere, it didn't attract any climbers' attention until 90s, where a couple of routes in the cave, as well as to the wall just to the left, were established. Because actually, who would go all the way to Norway to climb in the cave? The answer is the rock. It is so unique. The rock is as if it was made to be climbed. The friction is perfect. It's really sticky, while at the same time it's really good for the skin. And it creates like really amazing features that you're like so tempted to climb them. When I first arrived in the cave in 2012, I expected a lot, but I was completely blown away. And it's huge. Like, no video or picture can't really tell how huge and perfect it is. I could stare hours and hours trying to find the perfect line. In 2012, I came with the intention of bolting possibly the world's hardest route. And I started bolting one line, which in the end of the season turned into Change, world's first 9B+. I was super happy. I was ecstatic. It was my first big line that I bolted outside my home crag, and I couldn't ask for better perfection. But I wasn't sick of the place. I knew this was only beginning. I came back the next season in 2013 in May, and the whole trip I was just bolting like crazy. I bolted Dharma 8C+. I bolted Move, Project Hard. I bolted a couple of other lines, and I have incredible memories. There are some of the best pitches I have ever done. I was making first ascents of the easier lines, but there were two obvious projects waiting to be climbed. Project Big and Project Hard. The fact, which is quite unknown, is that there's not only the cave, but a wall just to the left, with far left, super easy routes, starting with the third grade. Then like the really amazing route starts with the 7A on this typical Flatanger rock with lots of laybacks and crags and incredible features to climb on. So I would say, at least for a few days, any climber can have really good climbing days. And it's a perfect opportunity to meet the world's best climbers. In 2014 and 15, I only spent a few days in Flatanger, but when I returned for a longer period of time in 2016, I had basically two options: Project Big or Project Hard. hard to tell for me which one is the harder one, but I was always intimidated by Project Big, by simply being too big. You know, it just looks so long with so many different boulder problems, being really powerful, but at the same time really requiring a massive power endurance. It just looks like, wow, it would be so much work. And that's why I decided to start working on Project Hard, which I knew would be super hard, but I knew it would be mostly about one single boulder problem, where I could do more up and try it. After 2 seasons of trying, it turned into a silence. The world's hardest route, 9C. But Project Big was always there, always at the back of my mind. Always thinking, you know, that the real line of the cave is not silence. That's the Project Big. And I should stop being too intimidated by Project Big and finally give it a proper try. It's nice to climb 2 meters higher so you get this. Okay.